So we've learned how to make documents in Illustrator. So where do artboards fit into the picture here? So think of artboards as design areas. They're not quite pages in the sense that maybe Microsoft Word has pages. They are just defined areas of design in the same document. So let's have a look at how that works. So if I make a new file, and let's say that it's a print project, and I say print, I can choose whatever size I want here. So I'm going to say A4, and I'll just call this rebranding campaign. And I'll leave it at A4, but I'll say I want 4 artboards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll set the bleed to 2 millimeters all around. Everything else is fine. And then create. So I now have my 4 artboards. I can now customize those for what I want. So there's an artboard tool down here. If I go to the artboard tool, you can see that my artboards become almost like objects that I can select and resize and so on. There's also an artboard panel on this side that shows artboards and the names of the artboards and the order of the artboards. So if this first artboard, let's say it's going to be a new logo for a company that I'm rebranding. So I'm going to call it that. So here, name, artboard 1, I'm just going to say logo. And then over here, I have a width and height value. I'm going to set the width to 200 millimeters and the height to 200 millimeters. So there's my logo. I'm just going to drag it and set it there. Now, let's say I've got to do 2 or maybe 1 business card. So I will select the next one and call it business card, and I'll set it to 90 by 50, and I'll drag it into position here. Maybe I also want a letterhead, so letterhead would be A4, and let's put that there. So I'm just arranging them roughly to begin with, and then maybe I want a comp slip, a complementary slip, so I'll say comp slip. And for this one, I'm not going to dial in a value. I'm actually just going to drag it to a size that I think would work well for a comp slip. So you can manually drag your artboards, maybe something like that. And I'll pop that there. Now, the one thing to remember is that because my intent was print, all my artboards will be for print. In other words, they will be CMYK. So I cannot now make an artboard and set it to RGB for screen. That would be a separate set of artboards. So just bear that in mind, that all your artboards are part of the same document, and the document setting is CMYK. If I wanted another business card, let's say a front and a back for a business card, I could select that business card there and click on this little plus button to make a new one. I'll call this one business card back, and this one business card front. And I'll pop them together like that. So you can arrange your business card, your artboards as you need. And look at the artboards panel. You'll see that the order in which the artboards appear here is the order that I made them. Now, if I want this business card back to be together with business card front, I can just drag the order into a new order. It has no bearing on the position of the artboards, just in terms of the order that they appear here. So I can rearrange my artboards by clicking on the rearrange tool, and then I can say row, say 10 millimeter spacing, and OK, and then it's going to ask me to click to organize my artboards. I'm going to just do some slight adjustments. I want the business cards to be like that, and then I'm just going to take these 2 and move them up like that. Okay, and then finally, if I go back to my selection tool, these become artboards, and if I zoom out, you'll see that they are inside the whole file. Now, if I press the navigation Control or Command 0, you can see it zooms into whatever the artboard is that's active at the moment. And that I can see here is my letterhead. Now I can move between artboards just by using page up or page down. And if you're on a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, it's Shift Function up and down. If I want to fit all my artboards, it's Option Command on a Mac, Control Alt on Windows, and then 0 to fit all of my artboards onto the screen.